A major cybercrime and human trafficking racket targeting Indian job seekers has just been uncovered. 549 Indian nationals have been rescued from scam centers operating in Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos. Lured by fake job offers, these Indians were forced into online fraud schemes. The victims, hailing from multiple Indian states, were brought back in 2 batches by Indian military aircraft. They are now being questioned by investigative agencies. Joining me in the studio is my colleague Deepak Badana, who's been investigating this crime phenomenon. Deepak, welcome to the News9 Plus show.
Thank you, sir.
549 Indians. Tell us what's going on here. Why are Indians being taken to Southeast Asia? Who's luring them there?
Well, 549 Indians are just the tip of the iceberg. It may not be even that. As per our reports, at least 29,000 Indians, and some figures actually go up to 1 lakh Indians, are trapped in 5 countries. These are Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Now, these people are tracked there, lured by really lucrative jobs of data entry, which promise them as much as, say, $1,000 every month. But when they get there, they're actually trapped in these cyber slavery-like conditions where they're not allowed to move out, and they're trained, much like BPO employees, to conduct fraud in India, most of all, and in a host of other countries.
A BPO for cyber fraud being run in Southeast Asian countries. That's a fascinating angle, Deepak. But you've been tracking this story for several months now. You've interviewed some of the victims. What have they been telling you? Did they go of their own volition, or were they kidnapped there? How did they land up in Southeast Asia?
So what happens is that a number of Indians, now Indians are aspirational by their very nature, and they're always on the lookout for new opportunities, and the glamour of moving abroad to find better, greener pastures is something that almost every one of us understands.
Right.
So a lot of these people often, answer ads from agencies, manpower agencies that'll talk about getting them lucrative jobs with almost no taxes in these countries. So, and when they answer it, these agencies facilitate everything. And of course, they charge them. So each of these persons, they'll pay at least 2,000 USD to these agencies, which will then, get the documents sorted. Now,
Right.
what happens is that very often they're asked to just go there on a tourist visa, and they're assured that when they land there, everything will be sorted and then they'll be placed. Of course, things don't always work like that. And then they're, taken from one country to the other on flimsy excuses that, here things didn't work out, but we have another option for you, till they find themselves on the periphery of these nations, which are often lawless paths. So, for instance, in Cambodia, there's this region called Krong Poi Pet, right near the Thai border. In
Right.
Thailand, of course, near Mayawadi, which is on the Myanmarese border. Now, what happens here, that these are lawless lands where there is little difference between the government and these syndicates, which are running their grand enterprises. And here, these people are trapped, and they have a choice. They could either resist and then face being sold into slavery to other cartels, which may be far more cruel, or they could cooperate, in which case they will be given some returns, and after a period of, say, 1 year or 2, in which time the companies have, or these cartels have recouped some of their investment.
So what is the government doing about it? I mean, this move to send Air Force aircraft clearly indicates the government knows about this, and there is a big organized nexus. There are criminal gangs involved, as you said. But what is the government of India doing to uncover these criminal rings? Have they been tie-ups with foreign countries or Interpol? What are they doing really?
So it's a 3-pronged approach. First, we begin by coordinating with the nations where a lot of these cases are happening. For instance, in Cambodia and Vietnam, Laos, the Indian high commissions over there have done a brilliant job. They've reached out to NGOs, they've reached out to the home ministries in the respective countries, and they're coordinating the rescue of a number of individuals. There is a particular case where an Indian official was sent right down to Poi Pet to retrieve this, one of our victims, and I happened to talk to him. Then there's a second prong in which the government of India is working with Interpol and with the UN, and we're trying to get warrants for a number of people who are involved in this. That, however, is a very complicated process, and it requires the cooperation of a number of different, say, organizations and entities which may not always want to cooperate.
Right. In this case, where the 500 plus Indians that you see on screen were brought back by Air Force aircraft, how did the Indian government coordinate with the local authorities there?
So the Indian High Commission or the Indian Embassy in the respective countries plays the key part over there. So once they get, intimations of a particular case or a number of people who've been entrapped, they reach out to the law enforcement agencies and a number of NGOs. And it is with coordination with these different entities that they reach out. These people are retrieved from these cartels and these compounds where they're forced to work.
Yeah.
They're then taken to hospitals or to hotels where they're rehabilitated for a bit, and then they are sent to India on flights. Now we also must understand that these people are in a very precarious condition because not only are they working there illegally, but they're forced to commit crimes. So they're also very wary of reaching out to people.
But so, follow-on question to that, Deepak, is that what is the government really doing to spread awareness about this problem? There have been very big concerns about the fact that Indians are migrating abroad illegally, and that brings, that creates a problem for us on the global stage. What is the government doing to ensure that so many Indians don't go abroad, they don't fall prey to these scamsters?
So the very first thing is that anytime you call somebody, you'll hear an advisory from the government of India, and that is in virtually every single Indian official language.
Yes.
And it's a lengthy note. For the lay person, it may be a bit of an annoyance, but it goes a great deal in creating that awareness where everybody understands that you are often being lured with these offers which are too good to be true.
Right.
Then there's the other bit where there is the I4C, an Indian cyber cell, which is looking into these cases. Now the government of India is coming out with reports, it's coming out with a number of different procedures that are to be followed. The cyber cells are being equipped to take over these cases. Because let's understand this, that in a country of 1.4 billion people, our security services are actually overwhelmed with the sheer number of cases of all types that come. And cybercrime is still something that we are grappling with. So this is a work in progress, and work is being done.
Right, work is being done indeed. It's a very alarming story, Deepak, and you've highlighted that. We're looking forward to your story on this burning issue, the fact that criminal organizations are running BPO operations where Indians are being lured, trapped there and forced to commit crimes against their own volition. But thank you very much for joining us, Deepak, on this very, very important story today.